So Samsung Ks-8000. Look, guys, this TV obviously it's showing its age a little bit here. You know, we're talking 2016. But having said that, looking at this TV, looking at the Ks-8000, I would say when I first bought Ks-8000, this TV it still was way ahead of its time in terms of peak brightness for HDR. At the time when I bought it, was the best HDR TV there was, you know. And but if you can find one, if you can still find Samsung Ks-8000, even though it's an edge-lit panel, even though it's an LCD edge-lit panel, it's still, in my opinion, a very good TV, you know. And I still have it. I have it here in my office. I still watch it. Now, is it better than QLED? Of course not. You know, QLED, it's brighter. QLED has better color accuracy as well. And the QLED has full array local dimming. So with the QLED, you're getting more accolades. You're getting more extra features. All right. So obviously, let me just put it this way. It's not better than the QLED. You know, if it was better than the QLED, then Samsung wouldn't make a QLED. They would be still selling Ks-8000, all right? So let's just get that out of the way. The obvious elephant in the room, okay? And this is coming from a guy who has these TVs. Again, I hate to repeat myself like a broken record. This is not coming from a guy who's sponsored. It's not coming from somebody who doesn't have TVs. It's coming from somebody who paid for every freaking thing you see on my channel, okay? And I'm not sponsored. And I'm here to tell you the truth. So, what's the verdict? What's the verdict, Tony, on the Samsung Ks-8000? The verdict is this. It's really simple. If you can find Samsung Ks-8000 for like a really good price, let's say you can get a 65-inch for like $800 or $900, I still say go for it. I still say go for it. You're not going to be disappointed. If you never step into a 4K TV before, I think this is a good choice to go with. In terms of picture quality, it's still great, you know. And this is the reason why I still have this TV, why I still have my Samsung Ks-8000. They did a bunch of updates on it. They did improve the picture quality a little bit, okay. So that edge-lit, it's not as bad as it was. It's still there. Listen, when you turn off the lights completely, on Samsung Ks-8000, you will see that bending light. That's because of the panel, the nature of the panel. But considering that this is an old TV and it's an edge-lit, I think you're still getting, in my opinion, a really good picture quality here. All right. Now, in terms of gaming, you know, it's good for the gaming as well. It has a decent gaming, you know, options. It's not as great as, you know, QLED. If you really want a great gaming TV, I would say go with a QLED, QLED. Go with Q8 FN or Q9 FN. But if you can't buy QLED, if you can buy Q9, I think if you can find Samsung Ks-8000 to be in a really good shape, I would say go for it. I think you're going to be good. This is, remember, these are all my opinions. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I have this TV. I've done gazillions of videos on this TV. Okay? I had this TV for quite a long time. I still have it. I still have my Sony X900E. Okay? And I still got my P605 and my M55C2 from Vizio. And I'm telling you, the Ks-8000 was probably one of the best TVs that I owned. And I've done a lot of videos on this TV, and this TV still looks great. Now, is it better than the QLED? Of course not. Is it better than all these other new lineup of TVs? Of course not, because it doesn't have a full array of local dimming. But what it does have, it does a really great job on the peak brightness and the HDR. It does a great job on two things: the color and the peak brightness, which is necessary for the HDR. It does a really great job on that. What it doesn't do a great job on is the viewing angles and that bending light that you're going to see from bottom to top, mainly at the bottom. When you're watching a movie with the black bars, you will notice that. But you really have to turn the lights off totally. I don't recommend that you watch this TV with the lights all the way turned off. Not to watch it from the corner or even from the center, due to the fact that it's edge-lit. You know, that's the one caveat that's going to always be there. But it's not like a major deal breaker for me. You know, it's still great. I mean, I still watch it. But I do have a choice, you know. I do have a choice between the OLED, QLED, and other TVs. So I do have that luxury to try out and watch on different panels. But for you, I would say Ks-8000. If you can't find it for like a really good price, you really can't go wrong. And I want everyone to understand that with Ks-8000, you're never going to achieve those pitch black, deep dark levels. You know, you're never going to achieve that. It's impossible for you to achieve that on the LCD panel to begin with, and especially it's impossible for you to achieve that on an edge-lit panel, okay? But overall, listen, overall, I would say that the Ks-8000 is still a great TV, okay? I mean, I had this TV since 2016. It's still great. Honestly, I'm here in my office, I'm watching it right now, and I'm like, hey, if I didn't have any other TVs, if I still had my Ks-8000, guys, I would still be okay. I would still be fine with this TV. Okay, I would still be fine with this TV regardless. All right? So, one thing I want to say here, guys, I want to mention something that I wanted to talk about in my next video is I see a lot of people talk about stuff that they haven't experienced. I've seen a lot of people do a research on the internet and then they would take that for the granted on what they have researched. Guys, there's a difference between you researching and listening to someone's opinion versus you actually seeing the TV in person, versus you owning a product and having that product and spending time with that product. Okay? This is the one big problem that I see on today's YouTube tech community is a lot of people are doing their research and they're listening to what this person says and what that person says and what this person says. Guys, these are just their opinions, okay? Everyone has their opinions, just like I have my opinion. But to truly give a product its due, you have to try the product, okay? It's really difficult for you to talk about something if you haven't seen it. It's really difficult for me to talk about. I would never talk about the OLED if I never owned an OLED. I would never talk about a projector if I never owned a projector. I would never talk about the Ks-8000 if I never owned a Ks-8000. I would never talk about the Sony X900E if I never owned one. Guys, you have to own the products. You have to try the products before you can actually start talking about it. All right? Because otherwise, it's just a hearsay. It's just an opinion. It doesn't stick. It doesn't fly. All right? I can tell you my opinions, and I can tell you the way I feel about these televisions is because I have them. Okay? There's a difference. I have these TVs. Now, I don't want you to take everything I say at the face value, but what I think you should do to be fair and reasonable, maybe you should go to Magnolia. Maybe you should spend some time comparing these TVs. Okay? Go in there, have a look at these different TVs. They're not going to get mad at you for checking these TVs. That's why they're there, for the customer, for you to see it. Okay? So, sometimes it's a good idea to try a product before you actually jump on the bandwagon, start believing on burn-in on the OLED, immediate burn-in, before you start believing retention on the screen, before you start believing bending light on the TCL, which there was never any bending light on TCL that I know of. And I have two different TCLs, R617 and P605, which I still have. Okay, please don't make me make a video about it, okay? So, guys, I'm not saying this to act pretentious. You guys know I'm not. This is just a fact. You gotta own something to talk about. I will never talk about a Ferrari F350 if I never driven one. I'll never talk about Lambo, Lamborghini if I never driven one. I'll never talk about Kawasaki Ninja if I never, or Ducati if I never driven one. I'm not gonna talk about something that I haven't tried, because I have no credibility talking about something if I don't have it. I can't talk about something if I don't have it. No, people are going to say, why should we trust you? You don't have the product. Who are you? Who cares? You got to have some credibility to back it up, your opinion. It's okay to have opinion. It's okay to have different points of view, but you got to own the product to make that opinion, to make that point of view. Okay? All right, so let me end this video. Listen, Ks-8000, still a great TV. If you can buy one, for a really good price, 65-inch or even 55-inch, but I would recommend 65-inch. Go ahead, pick one up, but make sure that it's in a good, that it's not scratched up or bumped or something. Make sure that it's in good condition. If you can't find one that's in a really good condition, Ks-8000 is still a great TV, and it's definitely one of the best TVs I have owned in the past few years. And that goes a lot saying, and this TV's got a lot of great reviews. It's been praised. It's probably one of the best Samsung TVs that they have put out there. It was really ahead of its time when the 4K started coming out and the HDR and all that. It was way ahead of its time. Well, there you have it. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, though. Take care.